At Crusader Industries, we believe that our values are more than a standard of behavior. They're our legacy and our inspiration. We don't defend them through sheer size or firepower alone. We ally ourselves with those who share our core beliefs. We make sure the real heroes make it to where they're needed most.
I said everything. Not straight away.
At Crusader Industries, we know that lifting up others benefits us all.
What's the advert?
Please consult our maps to take advantage of all the exhibits this year's Invictus has to offer. Be sure to check back every day to see the full lineup of ships and technology now available. The Navy would like to thank our private and corporate partners for making this year's Invictus.
Thought it was ugly.
Oh, my FPS just died.
I think it looks nice.
I think they look alright. Okay, so they have got all three here.
Oh, nice.
Shouldn't be that blurred. Okay. So we've got 3 halls today. If we do clockwise, anti-clockwise. Oh no, go clockwise because we've got the Misc ones, the Tumbril in the hall, and then we can come and do the Hercs after. There we go. So everything's caught up and it's smoother now. Silly mouse cursor. I don't think we've been in this hall yet.
No, I don't think we have, no.
I think they've missed a deal with. I mean, they've only just done paints for the Star Runner, but if they'd have had them in on this one with the sets that for the Hercs would have been cool because you could match match
definitely.
it all up.
They have a red Star Runner paint here, black and red.
My good old ship.
Oh, hold on. It's the same one as the other one.
Is it just the back?
Yeah, it's 2 Star Runners. You can appreciate the front and the back at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, we've been over these quite extensively, but data running, isn't it? Data running and cargo.
Yeah.
Like, what's your opinion on the Tumbril TR?
Smuggling. We're
Let's
not
say
going to
it's
go around
facing
this
a
one.
tank, then all the bullets will just bounce off the tank.
The TR now, yeah, I think so. The MT had the, because we questioned when the MT came out why it had a different, like more ballistic cannon, but I guess that's for running around tanks. But ground combat's got a way to go, hasn't it, for these vehicles and using them. Oh, is the RN up as well this week? Which is your scanning one, isn't it? Might be useful when that comes in.
Yeah.
Or you mean the RN version? Hold on.
I think it's RN. But it's supposed
Yeah,
didn't they
RN,
describe it as being able to place a beacon? Is one of the functions.
Like supposedly, like place like a quantum beacon or even the land claim. Because the land claim is just a beacon, you know.
Yeah, fast and detailed scans of terrain as well as beacon placement.
Yeah, so it's like overlooked car for many
Yeah.
people who want land.
Yeah. But cool, you can mix it up, can't you? Just escort one out with an MT. And then the standard cyclone is the only one that does cargo.
You could work with the RN and the tank in unison.
this is the,
have this as a
this
more
is the
mobile
AA.
scout, you know.
Oh, and the AA has an EMP, because we've had that working before.
But can it EMP a tank?
Not tried that yet.
Questions that will be answered soon.
We can try that. We can try that later, actually.
Yeah.
But I do like. I enjoyed the MT. I was quite surprised with that. We did kind of wonder when it came out because it just meant. Well, I don't think it's meant the others are obsolete. Obviously, with missiles, Anna kind of takes from the AA and the TR, but. We couldn't get the missiles fire, could we? They kept falling on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't think we've tested it since. Oh, whiz on to the next one. I'm not getting great frames here at all today.
No.
Oh, it's to the right. If we go to the next hall, or this exits lead to the same place.
Zenith Hall, okay.
Number 1 hall. Yeah, they go to the main hall. But yeah, we get a little look at the F8 again.
Yeah, just run straight across and we'll have a quick look at the Hercules after. Because they're big. Every time we've done it, we end up stopping and having a look at the F8s, but yeah. The sexy little ship. I'm hoping for Anvil Day, they'll have them out so you can have a bit more of a closer look around them.
Yeah. Well, we could the last stream, couldn't we? So,
Yeah, so we can sit in the cockpit and everything again. This should be Misc. Yeah. So variant of the Freelancer, essentially a missile boat, should come with heavier armor as well. It's so we touched on this a little earlier today with like one of the conversations we're having with jump gates. And I think likely will be some jump gates. They've already said about different sizes, but there might be areas you can't get to in the larger ships. So the smaller ships can, I guess, a bit more balanced. But the Misc can kind of, if there are areas like that, the Misc could come into its own as being like a top predator one, because there's not really much in that size.
Hey,
Or the
Well, that's
missiles.
it. When it's all decked,
hey,
it's
Blackbeard.
quite lethal, like, isn't it?
I have just a quick question for you. Which encoder do you use for streaming? Because this might be a problem.
Yeah, Yeah, it is all on that, and it has been running really good. I just think it's the game today. Yeah. That's the one. That's the one using. We looked at these quite extensively when looking at the Cutlass Black, because you've got the armor and then your components go up because you've got 2 shields. I can't remember if it's 2 power plants or not, but the only other one, we had a good look at the Freelancers not so long ago, because they've added some component areas in the back now.
Oh, had it? All right.
Got a torch on. Let's see if we can power it up. I'll see if I can power it up so we can actually see inside, but they're in the back area. But these are still kind of old design stuff for the game, because of the crew on it. 4 crew seems excessive now for this type of ship. So 4 crew, which is, I guess, fine. Limited cargo, you've then got all the missiles. But there's no storage for equipment. I think there's some gun racks. But in terms of, you know, where on some of the ships now we're seeing lockers for armor and stuff like that, there doesn't seem to be any.
Yeah. I mean, it might get redesigned in the future, like, you know what I mean?
But yeah, it's quite a good one if you get a chance to play with it.
So there's definitely going to be a use for this in the not too near future, with payroll coming up. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realise we're all sat in here. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I think so.
I managed to wreck myself. So I'm gonna die. I executed myself with the moon door. Like, like I hit the button to close it when I was like falling through it, and it like cut me in half from the waist.
What were the changes from the standard? So one, you get the military skin, don't you? And then I think it's heavier armor. It's supposed to have been refitted by Aegis. And instead of the fuel scoop at the front, you get a missile rack in the nose. But fairly potent on armament. I think you don't see them getting used, even though there's a size 5 turret and decent guns for the pilot, because they're essentially pretty weak with the health pool. But with armor coming into the game, you might be able to tank something out with this.
So are there missiles in the front, yeah? Under the Misc sight?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
So on the standard Starfarer, that's a fuel scoop.
Ah, right, okay.
So the Starfarer is supposed to be able to essentially recover fuel or load fuel by going through nebula or gases, sucking it all up. And then you'll have whatever refining gameplay inside, which was very loosely put, the gameplay that was with it. But that changed when they changed Quantum to be a mineable. And I don't think it's really been clarified since. So hydrogen's still the same, but every ship has fuel scoops anyway. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what those changes and what it means for the Starfarer. Supposed to have a refueling arm that comes out, so a bit like you see on I guess military jets. Boom arm. You don't see many of these either, do you? The Reliance.
No.
People don't tend to
really.
use them. 2 beds. But kind of a cool, it's a unique design, isn't it? I guess I'm not quite sure if it's a love or hate design, but it's just very wide.
I'm assuming this probe where I'm standing, that's the refueling armor, isn't it? I would imagine.
Might not be, but it might just be decoration, but yeah. I think some of them have stuff that looks like it could be that. I think there's a science variant as well, but we don't have science in the game yet. There's like a science starter one.
So the rears are these the ones that haven't got quantum drive, yeah?
No, these do have a quantum.
Oh, right, okay then.
Is it the EX? Very similar for the public looking to keep their profile.
And these are the learners for the month finale, aren't they? I might have to take one out and have a look.
Yeah, they're fun. They're quite nippy. They're very good in a straight line. Not so good on turning, we found. Well, at speed anyway. But stealth one, single seater. I think stuff like this, there's not really missions or anything that's for, or some area that you want to get through that you don't want to be seen.
It's like reconnaissance really, in it.
But it's a cool ship, yeah. I think I've kitted one out. We've not done any testing with it yet with stealth components to see if it's still the same distance or can get a bit nearer because it's smaller. I think they're size 1's weapons. Not very potent, but I don't think that's what you're trying to do though, is it? If you're sneaking in somewhere. But the gameplay's not here, so but I think that would be a buy-in game, definitely. Right, Hercs. Right, performance for me is actually slowly getting better. Actually, I'm going to whiz over just to do the C2. Let's have a quick look at that first.
Yeah, I'll crash it. I'll have to join back in.
So the M2 is the military one, and that's the frame that the other two, the A2 and the C2, are built from in the lore. The C2 being a stripped down version, so it's lighter, can carry more cargo. But massive cargo bay. So it's essentially designed to fit two of the Nova tanks in. Come on, Dutch. So few unhappy peeps on the forums because the C2 has a recreation area for 2 crew, which will come into play at some point in the game with foods. Engineering and a habitation area for the 2 crew. So the M2 steps it up to 3 crew and they just added a bunk in. The A2 I think is 8. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think we get to see an interior yet, but it'll be interesting to see what they've done with the A2. We'll have a look at the M2 in a second. But quite a straightforward design, two floors. We've got, or we'll have storage for armors and an escape pod for each of the crew. Let's have a look outside. We've been having some good fun with these. See, the only other ship currently that could transport tanks is the 890 jump, which is very impractical for moving tanks around, and it's a bit fiddly to get them on and off. First ship with some personal storage as well. So when we get physicalized inventories, what will happen is any equipment you can only carry what, you'll only be able to have on you what you can carry. So storing items in ships will be a thing coming in soon. But essentially this is identical to the M2, bar a bunk change in the hab, and then these rooms will change. We'll go over to the M2 now. And a lift. So the Star Runner that we didn't do a look round, but I think generally the player base has been asking for a lift for that because it's only got the ramp access. I'm gonna head over to the M2.
I'm still trying to lure it back in.
So the law is that the C2 has a cut down version. So it's been stripped to the armour, so it's got lighter armour. And the C2 holds, I think it's around 600 SCU. But the only difference in size, actually there's no difference in size in the hangars. So the cargo's been well, we say artificially limited, but it's how high you can stack the cargo. So on the M2 you can only go 3 stack high, but on the C2 you can go 4 stack high, which is the difference in the amounts of cargo they can carry. They can both still do tanks or multiple vehicles or whatever you can cram in here.
Ooh, lured us back in the Expo Centre. Woohoo!
I'll call loaded straight in. Nice.
Thought I would have broke up in the Aspire Grand.
C2 is supposed to have 2 medium power plants or coolers, I think. There was a difference in components, but they're actually both the same. So C2 guys got an upgrade. So this is the only change. Instead of the rec room, you get passengers or troops. So what, 3, 6, 9, 12. So same as the Starfarer. And an addition of an armory. So I guess heavy armors or armors, weapons lockers. Again, when physicalized inventory comes in, where you can only carry what you can carry, basically, including ammo and stuff like that, it's going to be handy, especially if you're doing some combat or FPS missions. So 3 crew, 12, that's 15. There's still some maths missing, I think, on here because the crew didn't have lockers, but there's 8 escape pods. So a few people aren't making it off. So if you remember on the C2, it was 2 lockers, 2 escape pods, 2 crew. So there's some questions on the ship. Yeah, whether or not that's a deliberate choice or there's still some more work to do. Other than that same layout, the cockpit just has the additional seat for the remote turret underneath the front, underneath the nose. Try and get out again, so we can look at the A2. Very laggy. Ooh. I'll head down a bit. I'm going to have to look at the A2 and then go to the hollows. Yeah, frames are getting punished today. So we've got the Nova tanks that we'll have a look at after this as well, because we'll pull some out. But the A2 is the one we're all looking at from our org because it is a bomber. So
You can't get in the A2, can you?
you could try. So the difference is, instead of being able to carry 2 tanks, it carries 1 tank, and there's some changes on the back
Oh wow.
for dropping
Didn't
bombs.
realise it had these on the bottom. Remote turrets.
Turrets actually seem to be in different placement to what we were shown when it was originally
This has got some weaponry on it, like, hasn't
concepted
it?
out. Yeah, these aren't in the places that they were supposed to be. There's actually supposed to be 2 at the front when we were first shown. Eight
Got
crew.
the interior you can see here.
So there seem to be more just room changes than anything else. I think the A2 being the exception with the back changing to be able to drop bombs. But 8 crew would actually match the M2's escape pods. But we'll have to see. My money's on that the rec room that changes to a troop transport room for the C2 is probably, maybe they just duplicate it, the habitation unit for each side, but we'll have to see. I think when we were able to look previously in the PTU, they'd actually put some of the turret controls in that room, but on the concept pictures, the extra turret seats weren't in the
And take a look downstairs.
bridge, they were actually in the main room at the top. Yeah, down to the hollows.
Logistics, support and supply ships are the backbone of our fleet as they keep our frontline forces equipped.
Yeah, the A2 looks cool. It just
Yeah.
not quite sure about what the difference on the turrets is going to be, because it's different layout to the concept. So we've been waiting for the tank for a while as well, but I'm not too fussed for this because we'll grab a couple when we leave here. to look at the paints as well.
Yeah.
3-man.
Just Tumbril vehicles on the other side.
We just need to. We're desperate for some ground things to blow up. Should we start on the right again?
Yeah.
Which range is this?
Can't understand why I
Ranger
haven't got
TR.
this in game yet. Is this a CO? Ranger. Ranger TR, sorry. Aye.
Yeah, going to be interesting because I think there's a few variants. Cargo one. Can't remember the other ones. CV I think is the cargo one. This one is the one with some guns on. We do have some hover bikes, but I think on one of the Q&As it did say there might be areas that you can't, for some natural hazard or something like that, where actually the hover tech or you can't fly over them, where wheeled vehicles would be the way in and out. So I think these have the day, but people have been waiting for these for a long time as well. Do a little biker gang.
Yeah.
This will be one of the heavy fighters. Actually, I can see the one over here. The Inferno.
What's this one? Inferno.
Yeah, so the ballistic. So size 7.
One of the what's it? Size 7 in it.
Yeah, size 7. So good in the pack. I think there are supposed to be some extra ammo things on it. It's one of the concerns a few people have brought up is the ballistic weapons are quite good. So you get some shield penetration, and when armor comes into play fully, that penetration, if it's not strong enough to penetrate the armor, it's not just going to bounce off. So these all have their day, but if it's ammo based,
So what do you think of
lose
this sort of hexagonal skin on it?
I'm not sure, Bev. I'm not sure if that will be a thing or it's just part of the hollow stuff. But we'll have to see. But ballistics, I think some of the guys were concerned, like the look of it, love the idea of that Dakar, like an A10 kind of thing. But ballistics, it's how much sustain you can have with that, because ballistics will run out. You're supposed to be able to change the ammo types as well, so that's interesting. And I think they did say that they'd put enough ammo in so you can do, you're not going to just run out straight away. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a one-trick pony, but certainly from what we've seen with the new shield stuff that's come in, if you get the shields down and when armor comes in, one of these is going to do some hefty damage. I think it'll be knowing the ships and knowing what to aim for to try and hit components or key areas.
Get the shields down, then you come in with one of these and you just rip it up, don't you?
Yeah. We're cool. Out later this year as well, so we'll get to see this one and the energy version, Ion. I think they'll be good in groups.
I
think solo.
Packs.
Yeah, I think solo you'd be looking to cripple something and then get away and calling your buddies in.